Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our masterclass. I'm going to run you through how we are able to sell $30,000 of brand shoots every single month when we had our creative agency. And one of the things in particular that this is relevant to is if you are on sales calls on Zoom, using a pitch deck could be a significant difference between someone signing up to your program and whether or not they understand your process and also whether or not they're going to buy from you. So in this mini masterclass, I'm going to run you through one of the pitch decks that we used to use for our brand shoots. It was generating multi six figures in the business, so $30,000 worth of brand shoots per month in one of the arm only of the business. And it was over a 2 day shoot period. So we only had one weekend booked per month to be able to do these shoots. So I'm going to run you through exactly what this looks like for you guys so that you can also do it in your own businesses. Now, I know that you're not in content creation and shoots, but this is still relevant to all of my coaches and consultants, specifically because it is a pitch deck. So why most people are not getting clients on Zoom is because they're missing these three key elements. They don't have a clear structure on what they're following and running their clients through. They don't follow the sales journey. So they're not building trust in the beginning. They're not able to find out exactly what they're needing, give them a problem, and also sell to them. And the final one and the biggest one is they rush through the sale process, rush through giving them the cost because they have their own money stories, their own feelings around asking for the booking or asking for money, that you don't actually give your clients time to say yes or speak about their objections. So we're going to run through a little bit about how we do this in our shoots so you can link it back to yourself as well. The reason that they also work is that they can be visual. They can showcase part of the results that you give. So for our shoots, particularly, we would always have pictures of some of our clients or some of our venues, some of the content we've created. They've obviously followed us on socials. We did behind the scenes quite a lot, and it creates an emotional tie because it puts them in that position of that's what they want as well. So this is the pitch deck we used to run. Now, the first thing to note is when you're creating your own pitch deck, you want to tailor it specifically to what you're offering. So we used to run brand shoots around Australia, Gold Coast, Sydney, Byron Bay, and we also had them across 2 days. So we would fill one day first and then open up the second one so that we had both of them going. But the first thing that you kind of want to do is tailor it so it ties specifically to them and is not a generic pitch deck as such. And then the first question that we generally have a chat with our clients with in that call is where would they like to be and where they are now. So following our chat in the initial stage when we jump on the call in the first instance, you build that trust, you have a chat, you have a little bit of small talk. We ask them what they've been working on and where they want to be after the shoot so that we can have a bit of an idea on whether or not their expectations are really clear and also something that we can deliver for them. We do have on occasions where we've said no to clients because the expectation was well beyond, and we had to set the boundary to say we don't believe that we're the best person for the job. And we've also had times where we've made a mistake where we've said yes to things that were outside of our capabilities for that day, and we had to then come back on the next time we do this together that we definitely don't say yes to certain things. It was quite a good learning experience. So this also helps you go through your presentation effectively so that you know exactly what you want to link it back to, because there are particular things that they'll talk about to you. Where would you like to be? We also share a little bit of our why it is that we do what we do. So when we had our creative agency and we had this arm in our business, our mission was to support women to feel confident in front of the camera. We created 30 days worth of content for them. We were able to do brand photography so they can use it across multiple channels, repurposing some of their content. And it meant that it took away a lot of the problem of being in front of the camera in the first place because we made it feel nice and easy for them. My photographer, Ella, who was in on this project, arm in our business, was really good at helping them feel comfortable. And we got heaps of behind the scenes, like hundreds of videos that they were able to do after our shoots, which just made it even much more desirable as well. One of the biggest things that we did was we used to jump on a call together because we did collaborate a lot, mainly because we both had different expertise. And we would split our calls up into sections. Now, if you're just the only person running these calls, you can just do this yourself, but it's really important to give the before, during, and after working with you to bring them on the journey so that they kind of have a bit of a roadmap on what they're doing. So, for example, I would kick things off and say, this is what I was going to do pre-shoot, which was all about that audit, consultation, strategy, planning. Before session, Ella would do things like mood board prep, preparing for shoots, props, discuss outfits, and all of that sort of stuff as well. So they have an idea on what the process is moving forward. So they have time to plan as well. And meant that they were able to send us content that they've been working on, what their ideas were, and also whether or not they need to go shopping for some of the stuff that they wanted to wear. We then also went through what happens on the day so they can expect it as well, how long it's going to be. We wanted to be really particular that it's not a full day shoot, they've got a designated time. And it allowed them to also get excited for the day. So we used to kick off with bubblies in the morning and snacks. We had everything set up. We had all the outfits ready for them. So they brought them in and we had little hangers for them to hang all their stuff. We helped support and guide them throughout that whole process of posing and also the setup for both shoot and video because we did iPhone video and also the reel creation as well. So we went through lots of different things on what they wanted to do. Back when we did this was when trends were coming out. So we were doing like trend videos, we were doing podcast videos, we were doing just B-roll videos. We were doing lots of different things based on what they were wanting and what they spoke to us about. We also then talked about post shoot. So, what happens after working with you? How long it was going to take to get all of the delivery items? What specific tangible things will they get out of working with you so that they know exactly what that scope is? Now, this is super easy for us because we had tangible deliverables. For my coaches that don't necessarily have tangibles, you want to talk about the feelings, you want to talk about the things they'll be able to do, talk about some of the milestones, some of the struggles they might be able to overcome, and it could be a continuous journey along the way as well. Showing a little bit of evidence is really important. So in our shoots, we used to show obviously imagery of what they looked like. And we also often showed photos of other people, but not too much because we wanted them to get creative on seeing themselves in these places themselves rather than seeing other people in them. It's kind of like buying a house and why they take all the family photos off the wall. They make sure that you can't see other people in the house because they want them to imagine themselves there. So that was really, really good for, visual psychology for us. We provided hair and makeup for them as well. So we wanted that to be a really big thing that we spoke about in our pitch deck, mainly because, getting there and having it all done for them, super, super easy, rather than finding a hairdresser that is going to get them at a designated time. And it was also an upsell. So these are upsells. We obviously gave the cost. Now, we wanted this to be a pause slide when we got here, mainly because it is a, higher ticket item that it's something that people might need to save for depending on where they are in their business. But we also offered deposits. So as an example, some of our shoot calls, we used to run 3 months before. And so rather than them paying $3,000 upfront, we would offer a deposit and a payment plan over X amount of months. And before each call, we would discuss what that plan was going to be so that we were both on the same page of how many months we were able to do that, how many months are also left in the month or in the time period leading up to the shoot so that we were completely all over it as well. A little bit more about results. So before you give the price and also the afterwards, this was specifically for the content section and it often came up because there were questions around that. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to cover off some of the questions, how they can use them, the results they could expect. And some of these results were organic as well. So this was not from ads. This is just, not all from ads. Sorry. They were some ads and about 70 or 60% were organic. So it allowed them to be able to see what it could look like if they use them in ads and also if they use them organically. And then obviously ways in which we can support them as well. So this is the pitch deck that we used. I hope that was helpful. When they got to the price and it was a yes from them, we sent them on the spot a contract straight away and also an invoice for the deposit so that we had it all in one go straight from the call rather than it going over a few days. Now, it's really important that you do that specifically straight after the call, or at least while they're on the call, because it can go away really, really quickly and then they may lose interest along the way. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you in the next module.